Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Alongside the trailer that was released for Mauer der Toten DLC 3, there was also a little info dump about a bunch of different things that are going to be releasing alongside the map or inside the map that weren't necessarily highlighted to their full extent in the trailer. So this is going to be a quick news burst running you through all of that stuff. We know that the wonder weapon is called the CRBRS, that's the Cerberus, I think. But we're also getting an LT-53 Casimir, which is essentially the return of the Gersh device. Now, I've got to say, Gersh himself, the actual character Gersh, Dr. Gersh, got done so dirty, man. He deserved better. He truly did. And the fact that in Garod, he met the fate that he did, and now he's gone forever. Ooh. But we knew that stuff. This is the new stuff now. So, zombies' health is being massively reduced. Right now, the way it works with that update that they brought in like 2 months ago is that zombie health is 4 times higher at high rounds. They really massively increased that health cap, but they're reducing it quite significantly, so now it will only be 2 times higher. This, I think, is a response to the fact that when they did that update and they buffed a lot of the different weapons in the game, they didn't really take into account the fact that all the players that could get to those high rounds were still kind of fine using their weapons if they wanted to try and take down a zombie and it taking ages, but everyone else that wasn't necessarily like a high round aficionado were basically kind of screwed over by that update. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, which might sound counterintuitive, but we've all been sort of saying that the game's been very easy for a while, and so something making the game harder isn't the end of the world, even if it does make certain players' experiences more challenging. I mean, that could be a good thing, right? But clearly Treyarch feel that they have overstepped the mark. Maybe they've seen that the player retention curve for those kind of newer players or those that are at a kind of intermediate sort of skill level, they were probably falling off, and so Treyarch are going, you know what, let's just bring people back in, we'll reduce that high round health cap. Similar is also happening to special zombies. They had a plus 100% health boost at those high rounds. That is being reduced to plus 50% now. It's even more of a drastic nerf for elites. Elites were plus 100%, they're going down to plus 25. So those weapon buffs that we talked about before, like all the crazy crit damage that you can get getting headshots now with all your assault rifles and etc, that is still staying, but you're just going to be able to tear through zombies a lot more easily with them now. High value targets also, such as the ones that you might see in Outbreak, those are getting their health reduced too at high rounds from plus 100% down to only plus 10%. So they'll be a lot easier. Now, alongside all of those health changes, there are also changes being made to armor. Specifically, medium and heavy zombies, you know, those real beefy ones, they are getting their armor health reduced by 30%. So their max health is being reduced from plus 400 to plus 100%, and they're getting a 30% nerf to their armor health, which lies on top of that health. Now, this will have some obvious consequences. Those zombies will be easier to take down, but also it might have some unintentional side effects too. Specifically, Shatterblast, I think, is going to be slightly less of an attractive alternate ammo type now. Now, I think most of you already know my opinion about Shatterblast. I've made extensive videos about my thoughts for AATs. But I do kind of wonder, like, now the armor is going to be slightly less of an annoyance and Shatterblast thus slightly less of an attractive option, is it something that we're going to see getting a buff, like maybe a very slight cooldown reduction in the next couple of weeks? I wouldn't put it past Treyarch, so keep an eye out for that one. Something that everyone has been saying since launch is that snipers are just bad. They're just terrible. Why would you use a sniper in this game? There is genuinely zero reason I can think of. And that might sound like an exaggeration. You might be thinking, well, I mean, I'm sure they're good for like massive damage, like nuking damage onto a boss, but they're not. I mean, I used the M82 in the Legion boss fight, and it sucked. And just in general, there are 0 scenarios where I think a sniper is actually useful. I mean, at distance on console, you actually see zombies disappear because they deload from the game in Outbreak. Like, the distances where you would actually use a sniper in a game in a useful context become entirely pointless because the zombies disappear. It's ridiculous. There's no reason to use them. And so, thankfully, they're getting another buff here with increased critical damage multipliers, stock ammo, and max damage. Now, while this is great news, we don't know the extent to which they're going to be buffed just yet, but also, key detail here, it's not gonna really matter if they don't have bullet pen. You guys, I'm sure, have been missing this just as much as I do. I might pick up a sniper in a previous zombies game and actually use it and try and kill out zombies with it, because it's a sniper rifle. That's what you're meant to do. But these days, I would just never pick one up. Like, I just get rid of it as soon as I basically can, because you're only ever going to be able to take down one zombie at a time. Why not use a shotgun? It just makes zero sense to me. But if they get bullet pen and they can go through an entire horde, then they'll be really viable in a much more significant way than any kind of damage buff on a single zombie could ever really give, in my opinion. Now, that said, if they do overpower them too much, it's going to become a very boring meta, having to snipe everything all the time. I personally think that would suck, so I'm not saying Treyarch, like, go overboard here and just buff them to Valhalla, but some more bullet pen would be really nice. And I saw in my stream, someone suggested actually recently, that what they could do is they could make it so that when they release double tap as a new perk, just like they're now releasing mule kick in this next update, they could make it so that the tier 5 upgrade gives you 10 times the bullet pen that's in the game right now. And that would be really, really cool. So I appreciate if that's what they're holding out for, fair, but they will also be completely changing the entire meta of the game by adding bullet pen on a perk in that way if they do that. And so it's drastic, whereas just doing it on snipers would be kind of more fitting to their weapon type. So I think that that might be a better solution for now. But hey, I would not say no to double tap bullet pen for every single weapon. That would be glorious. Another thing they're doing to make the zombies even weaker is they're making melee weapon Pack-a-Punch and triple Pack-a-Punch even stronger. I personally haven't run into this being an issue, but I'm sure if you've got a triple packed knife or something and it's not holding up at those late rounds, you're going to wonder why the hell you've got the knife. And so I can kind of understand why this change is being made. Another interesting change is that support, equipment, and field upgrades, specifically Frost Blast and Energy Mines, will now scale their damage evenly with the update. This is mainly going to manifest in your lethal equipment, so your frag grenades, your Semtex, your C4, and your ground-based support doing much more damage and thus being much more effective throughout your games. The main thing I want to test this on is with Manglers, because right now they're insanely weak to Semtex, but now, if the Semtex is getting buffed even more, what if you throw one into a group of like 5 Manglers and they all die? Like, I just want to see the fireworks. That's going to be glorious. They're also changing wall buys. The way the system works right now, we're all very familiar with. You've got your sort of static wall buys. So, for example, in D Machine, you've got that purple sniper on the wall and it's always purple. You've got your green M16 on the wall and it's always green. Now, however, they are becoming dynamic. So, at the end of every 5th round, they have a chance, it's not guaranteed, but they have a chance to increase in rarity. So that purple sniper on the wall in D Machine could become gold at round 6. It could do it. This sounds like a really good change. It's something that obviously in old zombies games we never even thought about because this weapon rarity system is still a fresh thing for us all to be experiencing. But it makes perfect sense. Treyarch, I think this is a great idea. Keep on giving us these quality of life upgrades we don't even know we need. Like, that is game design as an art form in a nutshell. Like, just keep on giving us that good stuff, Treyarch. And I'm sure the rest of the DLC season with this next map and then the final map after it and whatever you might be working on next, such as specifically Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. Yeah, Treyarch, we know you're working on that one. Next year's Zombies mode? Yeah, we know, Treyarch. We know. Give us a teaser. Go on. Please. Please. Anyway, that's going to wrap the video up from me. I know I've looked a bit tired in this one. It just do be like that sometimes, you know. I will end things here, though. I've been MrRoflWaffles. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.